Alrighty, guys, welcome back. You just heard Get Down on It by Cool and the Gang. This is Figures and Funk with your host, DJ Aurelius. Now, getting into some of the new announcements that came out for Figures, we have a line by Big Chief Studios, not too familiar with that company, but they came out with the line of Peaky Blinders. I guess it's based off a show, and we have two Arthur Shelbys and two Tommy Shelbys. And I guess it's a British show, right? Peaky Blinders. That's my horrible British impression. It's a British period crime drama television series created by Stephen Knight, set in Birmingham, right? So this is England we're talking about, and it follows the exploits of the Peaky Blinders crime gang in the direct aftermath of the First World War. So it's actually based off a real urban youth gang of the same name who were active in the city from the 1890s to the 1910s. So it's a British TV show. It stars Cillian Murphy. Now, if you don't know Cillian Murphy, he was from Quiet Place 2, Dunkirk, Inception, or I mainly know him from Batman Begins. He was the Scarecrow. And it also has other big names like Tom Hardy, of course. He plays Eddie Brock in Venom, right? And we have Anna Taylor-Joy and a couple other big names in this show. But yeah, these figures, they actually look pretty well sculpted. So they have their little suit on, right? They have like a monocle, or not a monocle, I'm sorry, like I guess a long watch. The watch is tied to the strings, and they each come with their own like little gun. For Arthur over here, we have a 45 semi-automatic pistol, and it comes with 2 tumblers of whiskey and another whiskey bottle. Oh, and a rifle as well. Wow, okay, so they do come with their fair share of accessories, and we have Arthur in a brown suit, and we have him in a blue suit, and with the blue suit, he has like those old-timey caps that your grandpa probably wears. And these are all 1/12 scale figures. We also have the Tommy Shelby, and you can really tell this, like I had no idea what the show was about or anything, but I could really see Cillian Murphy like through this sculpt. The head just looks exactly like him for the scale that it is. It's 1/12, and he comes without a coat for one, and then you can buy him with the coat, and he has the same old timey hat. Not too sure what those hats are called, but yeah, just imagine the ones that your grandpa wears. And that same studio, Big Chief Studios, is also making the same figures, but in 1/6 scale. Now, to put this into perspective, 1/12 scale is like probably like 6 inches, 5 to 6 inches, right? And it's just plastic. It's just molded plastic, painted, and shipped out. Whereas 1/6 scale figures, those are a bit taller, maybe around like 9 to 12 inches, just depending, right? Because it's supposed to be, actually like 1/6 scale of how tall, Cillian Murphy or these other actors would be. And these are more realistic, right? The skin tone is definitely something that the companies focus on, and they actually use real fabrics and clothing to dress up the figure, so you can really get realistic shots. And sometimes you might even fool yourself and think this is an actual person, just shrunken down. And they just look really clean, really nice. Other new releases by McFarlane Toys with their DC multiverse. They came out with a Killer Croc based off the Arkham Knight video game. So if you're a big fan of that, you can get that one. And there's also a Man Bat. And Man Bat, he's like the opposite of it. He's like what you would think Batman would be, right? So it's like he looks like an actual bat, just in like the size of a man. And then we also have I'm not too. Oh yeah. So this is a bit odd, but we have a Joker, like dragon. So it's the Joker, and he's like huge, and he's like dressed as he's in the shape of a dragon. And in the promo pics, you can see like a Batman riding him. It's from the Dark Knight's Metal DC universe. And it looks honestly kind of scary, but at the same time, kind of cool. So it's like a vehicle type of thing. And some more releases by McFarlane are the Spawn figures. Now with these, I'm actually really excited because I'm kind of a bit of a Spawn fan. Not huge on it, but I do like the character designs. We're finally getting a Spawn figure like straight from the comics. Typically, the Spawn figures that have come out in the past have been based off the Mortal Kombat series, so from 10, 11, 9. Those are all the Spawn figures we get. But this one is a classic Spawn straight from the comics, and he comes on a throne, and the throne is really well detailed. I'm surprised how much detail they got into this. There's like skulls and guts and like weapons just molded together, and he just looks awesome. And his cape is like flared, and he's just sitting there like a boss. And he comes with, I believe that's it. I'm not too sure if he comes with like a mace or something. No weapon, but you do get this classic Spawn figure with an awesome cape and an awesome throne. And then other Spawn figures that we got are the Overt Kill Mega Action figure. And this guy, he's like a cyborg, and I really like the details like on his legs and his shoulders. They like that wiring. It really looks like an actual cyborg. And the metallic paint that McFarlane uses is just so realistic. I like it. The thing that sets me back for this figure though is like the plastic panels that cover his shoulder and forearms. They look like the detail is there, but because it's just one flat like teal like paint, it takes away from the look, in my opinion. And then we also got the Cygor Mega Action figure. Now this is just a big mechanical ape. I actually know a little bit about this guy from like the one comic that I read of Spawn, but he just looks awesome. And I don't know if you guys have been around, but back in I think 2004 or 5, Toy Biz came out with like a Mecha Hulk, and just imagine the Hulk and a cyborg just merged, and that's what you got. And this is it gives off that vibe. This Mecha Cygor, and you can move his arms. Every finger is articulated, so you can like make it a point or a fist, or maybe even like a peace sign. The details on it has like a gunmetal, so it's not too shiny. It's like a bit scratched up. Very realistic and very cool. Alright guys, before we get into some new releases, we're going to go back to some music. Starting off with The Jungle Boogie by Kool and the Gang. Alright guys, that was Express Yourself by Charles Wright and The Waltz. Now, I know some of y'all out there probably heard the start of the song and were like, oh, no way, he's going to play, Express Yourself by, WNBA, or NWA, my bad. And probably expected the rap song, which is like, they used the sample of this song and like rapped over it. And that was from Straight Outta Compton, released in 1988. The original Express Yourself was released, I believe, in the 70s? Yeah, 1970. And again, it was by Charles Wright, and the album Express Yourself by the same name. So it's just a little tidbit. If you didn't know this original song existed, well, now you know. I personally like both versions, the one by NWA and this one, but I always prefer the classics. This is Figures and Funk. That's why we are playing the funk version. Now, some more releases. We have Dragon Ball Z SH Figuarts Gohan and the Battle Clothes. This is an exclusive figure, and it is Gohan in the Namek arc, or the Frieza saga, however you pronounce it, or however you call it. I call it the Frieza saga. And he has like that Saiyan armor, the one that Vegeta typically has, with like the shoulder pads that kind of stick out. And he puts it on when he's with Krillin. They're waiting for Goku to heal up in and the healing paw that he's in. And this figure is $91.99 plus shipping. If it's, again, SH Figure Arts is overseas. It stands 5.5 inches tall. That's 14 centimeters. Made of plastic. And it includes 3 interchangeable left hands, 4 interchangeable right hands. So he has one where he's like doing his classic fighting pose. He has 2 fist hands. He has 2 like open palm hands when he does his move called the Monsenko, which is how he fires out a blast. And he has like one open palm hand where he's like doing like a really big blast. And he has a screaming face, a gritting face, a smiling face, and a serious face. And he has interchangeable hair parts. So he has one where he's like his hair is normal, just flowing down, and he has another one where he's like his hair's like flying in the wind. And they have this like promo shot of him kicking, and the hair looks amazing. It's like flares up a little. And we also have interchangeable chest parts. And these chest parts are just to allow more articulation, get him like bending over and kicking, or just like squatting down to power up, so it doesn't hinder like the look of the figure. And he also comes with a Dragon Ball, the 3-star Dragon Ball, and this Dragon Ball is bigger in scale because it's from the Namek. It's from Planet Namek, so those Dragon Balls are bigger if you're not too familiar with the series. Now, the thing about this figure is that I like it. I really do. And it looks just amazing, right? The faces that we get, the fact that you can change out parts of the armor to get that extra pose in, the fact that it comes with an extra piece of hair is just amazing. But $90, really, for something that costs for something that's not even like 6 inches tall, it just seems like a lot. And I've noticed this with SH Figure Arts, because they're practically the only company that makes Dragon Ball Z figures. They just jack up the price. I mean, you do have another company called the Dragon Stars, and they make Dragon Ball Z figures, but they're kind of run-of-the-mill, cheap figures that cost like $20. Which, don't get me wrong, some of them are actually worth it. But I mean, you want the premium stuff. You want SH Figure Arts, and the fact that this figure costs $90, whereas like maybe go back 5 years or so, it would have cost like 50 or 60. So to see that the price just keep going up on these figures is frankly a little depressing. Next up, we have Disney teaming up with the company Super 7 to release some Disney Ultimates. Now, this is Wave 3 of Set 4. Frankly, this is the first set that I've seen. I haven't seen the other ones. And for this set, it's the Big Bad Wolf, the Little King from Alice in Wonderland, the Queen from Alice in Wonderland, a crocodile, I'm not too sure where that's from, and Stitch. Now, I want to mainly focus on the characters I know most, which is the Stitch and the Big Bad Wolf. So let's focus on those, shall we? All right, Lilo and Stitch, Disney Ultimates Stitch, He is a 7-inch scale. He's made of plastic and bits of fabric. We'll get into the details in a bit. He has 4 alternate heads, right? So he has this classic Stitch smile. He has one where he has his like mouth closed and his eyes are big. Kind of like how you would see him when he's just like minding his own business, doing his thing. He has one where he's like picking his nose with his tongue. That's just hilarious. He has one where like he puts, I'm not too sure if it's a bra or it's a handkerchief that he uses to like cover his ears when he's cleaning. If y'all remember from the movie, he has a little chef hat, and he has a head sculpture, like a plunger on his head, and he's just like making an awkward face. Honestly, these look really good. I really like these figures. This figure, he comes with what looks like to be a piece of bread, like a giant piece of bread. Honestly, I think it's as big as him, and you can pose him around because he has like little oven mitts, and the bread's on top of a tray. And even the promo pics, you can use the chef hat and one of the heads just make it look like he's taking it out of the oven, or just made some Stitch bread, right? And he comes with like a little plaster gun that shoots out carrots. It comes with a little ice cream cone. It comes with some shades, and it comes with, what is that? Is that a little hat? Oh, I think it's a bag, like a little bag for him to just hold, I guess. And it honestly just, it really looks like Stitch. It's kind of adorable. And he can move his arms. He can move his shoulders, his legs. You can make him look like he's sitting down, or like I said, like he's bending over to take out the food out of the oven. Honestly, just a really good figure. Well, it looks like it's going to be a really good figure. Pre-orders are up now on Big Bad Toy Store. It's going to set you around $55. And then the other character I was more interested in is the Big Bad Wolf from the Silly Symphonies. Now, this is, of course, Disney's classic Big Bad Wolf that you'll see with the Three Little Pigs or Red Riding Hood. And I'm just going to do the read up on him because I really like the way they did it. So it says, "Your eyes do not deceive you. Those eyes, nose, and mouth are way too big to be grandma's. This 7-inch scale, highly articulated, incredibly designed Ultimates figure of the Big Bad Wolf from Disney's Silly Symphonies. The Big Bad Wolf includes multiple interchangeable heads and hands as well as his grandma disguise. It doesn't matter if your house is made of straw, sticks, bricks, or whatever. This made-to-order Disney Ultimates figure of the Big Bad Wolf will be right at home in your collection." And again, it just looks really nice. He has this classic look when he's with the Three Little Pigs, where he's wearing his top hat, right? And it looks like he's kind of like homeless. He's got those suspenders, and he's got some pants with like patches on them, as they did back in the old cartoons. And he has a little bag that's supposed to like symbolize, I guess, his suitcase. You know how it's stereotypically homeless people just always have their suitcase on them, or like a stick with like a little handkerchief knotted to carry their stuff. And we have his grandma disguise, which honestly, I'm so happy that you can like, it's made out of cloth, right? So you can just like slip it on him, and he has like a bonnet, I guess, so you can make it look like he's the grandma, and he has his glasses, old man glasses, or old lady glasses, I should say. And he also has another head sculpt where he's like, he looks like he's blowing, so it's like, you know, he's a big bad wolf, he's gonna blow your house down. And he also has another, no, this accessory is pretty weird. It's like his bag, and he's like dressed as a sheep, like on his head. I don't know, it's a little weird. But I feel like that's from another cartoon that I just haven't seen. A sheep basket. But yeah, the fact that you can have like, you're basically getting two figures in one. You know, you're getting the classical wolf and him dressed up as a grandma, and that's really cool. Again, this is going to be $55 up for pre-order now on Big Bad Toy Store, as are the rest of the other figures. With that being said, let's get into some more music, starting off with Get Down Tonight by Casey and the Sunshine Band.
Well, since we had it grooving, you know.
All right, guys, we're back. That was People Get Up and Drive Your Funky Soul by the legend himself, Soul Brother #1, James Brown. Now, James Brown. Lots of good things to say about that guy. He is the godfather of soul. I love all of his songs. And, I mean, this song that just played in particular, I just wanted you guys to just, like, sit in, feel it, and I guess drive your funky soul, right? And I like how in the song he calls out, like, all the, what are they called? I guess signs, like astrological signs. I'm not too sure what they're called, right? But, you know, like, I got, like, Cancer and Gemini, Pisces, right? And he does that to just, like, call out everybody, you know? Doesn't matter where you're from, when you were born, you know, just get out and have fun. And that's what he wants you to do. That's what funk is all about, just letting loose, having fun. So I really like that he did that. And there's that small snippet. He even points it out. He's like, there it is in the song. And that's the snippet that was used for the, you know, Spider-Man 3 movie where Billy Maguire, or, you know, Tobey Maguire, right? When he's like all dark and emo-ish. when he does like a little dance and he's just like going around. He's like da 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 da, and he's like pointing at girls and just being all suave and cool, right? But it's actually like kind of dorky in reality. So that's where that snippet came from. And I mean, to be like, I try to introduce my friends into James Brown, and they had no idea who he was, no idea. Like even when I played the song for them, they just had no clue whatsoever, and that is kind of sad, really. And that's because one of them just like their favorite type of music is K-pop. Like, I mean, not to trash on other people's taste in music, right? But I mean, come on, you know all these foreign, people like their names, and you don't know James Brown. Come on, it's fine. But with that said, let's get into figure of the week. And this week's figure is Green Goblin. Green Goblin from Spider-Man 1 with Tobey Maguire. Again, big fanboy of those films. My favorite of all time. This is the Toy Biz Green Goblin from the first Spider-Man film, released in 2002. And this guy is phenomenal, right? So he released, he came with a glider, a clear stand, and he has like his little helmet that's actually removable, right? And if you remove the helmet, you can see Willem Dafoe, which is the actor that portrays Green Goblin, and it just looks so good. Like they actually got the skin tone nice. There's a bit of red in his cheeks, not too much. Right, you can see a bit of wrinkles there. His hair is the only thing that I would say could be a bit darker, but for what it is, again, like it's awesome, and I have it in hand right now. Again, I also have the Spider-Man, which is the figure of the week last week, and they just look amazing together. And yeah, his helmet is removable. He comes with the glider, which is just so well detailed. Right, they got the purple in there, and they got the silver. It's like a gunmetal silver, and there's like a bit of black in there to represent the bullets and spears. Or you can add like a little effect at the bottom if you want it to like look like it's glowing or something. And I actually got this figure recently as a gift for my birthday, so I was like really happy to get it, and it just held up really nicely. Right, he can peg into the glider, and it looks like it's flying. I was actually carrying it around campus yesterday, and the stand is a clear plastic, right? And the thing with clear plastics is that they yellow over time, but this one is still clear. Like after 20 years, right, this guy is still in great shape. The paint, like it's a metallic paint. It looks exactly like he did in the movie. And the mask, the details on that, the details on the suit, right? So like a Marvel Legends, which is in charge of like making the Marvel, I guess, figures, right? Nowadays, they would not be able to replicate this. The details in the sculpt, in the mold, it's immaculate, you know? And he has like these little side stitches on his legs, which is like accurate to the suit, same on his arms. And the fact that they put them in there and actually painted them the correct color is amazing. And the fact that they even like made the sculpt flat where it needed to be flat, because in the film, right? So like the inner parts of his legs were like softer materials. They made that part flat to match the movie, and it's actually like a different shade of green. It's like you got the metallic overall, and you got a still kind of metallic but also flat paint to cover those areas, and it just works so well. He just really pops at you. So that is why this guy's a figure of the week. He also has really good articulation. You can do his laterals. He actually has more range than the Spider-Man, which is crazy if you think about it. And he actually has like a wrist, like he has a wrist joint, so he can move his wrist left to right. His hand can actually open, so from a fist to like a grabbing hand, so you can make him look like he's holding those goblin bombs, the pumpkins, right? Pumpkin bombs. And he can kick forward, back, not too much back, but still pretty good. And he has a thigh cut, which means he can twist his leg left and right and all around, really. Then his double jointed knees, which can really that's really needed when, he's squatting on the glider and he's flying around. And then for his ankles, it just like it goes forward and back. We don't get side to side, but that's fine because that's where the thigh swivel comes in. So you can just like move the leg to position the ankle. And then he can twist his torso left, right, all around, right? He can lean forward a little bit, not too much, and then nothing to the back. And I'm actually really sad to say, guys, but this figure actually broke on me right now as I was moving it. Because when I first got it, which is like a couple days ago, it was really tight in the joints. I mean, this is a 20-year-old figure. Like, let's be real here. And it was like practically mid-condition. So the fact that, I was like moving it around and posing it, trying to get some good pictures of it, I guess did some damage. But it just fell apart. It's easy to fix. I guess the glue over time just doesn't hold, which is fairly understandable with these old figures. I can easily just glue it back and it'll be fine. Just gonna put that to the side. And yeah, let's go back to some music. Let's do Blame It on the Boogie by the Jacksons. Alright guys, that just wraps up today's show. It's Figures and Funk. Your third host, DJ Aurelius. Thank you for tuning in. Catch you next week, same time, 11:30, only on Vaquero Radio, the Valley Student Station.